Let me get straight to the point here. Guys, if you love me, if you like me, even if I made you smile once, then please, guys, make sure you support the team. Little Bad Man and the Time Traveling Teacher of Doom. You can get it on Amazon or at your local bookstore. Make sure you cop it now. Yeah, boy!
Let's get straight to the point. I am here with my boy, one of my favorite stand-ups. He's a comedian, he's a presenter, he's doing it all. Mo Gilligan, what are you saying, bro?
Yes, my guy. Thank you for that, man. That was a really nice introduction. I find it hard when people say good things about me, you know.
Why?
Not that I'm a bad person. I get a bit shy though.
Nah, well, come on, man.
I just do. I always have. Even if I do any kind of TV, radio, and I'm like, oh, rah, I've done that, yeah? Ah, thank you, man. All the time. Every time without fail, I'm like, oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. We're just talking about stand-up as well, man. Like,
yeah.
Obviously, like, well, first of all, actually, to be fair, how was your lockdown?
Do you know what? My lockdown was, for me, it was quite good. I had a lot of time to...
Make your own show?
Yes, done that in lockdown. Yeah. For me, that was like kind of halfway lockdown. Because at the beginning of lockdown, I just had this nice routine. Like me and my girlfriend, we'd do some exercise. I started baking biscuits and stuff like that.
No way.
Yeah, I'm making like meals and stuff.
Lockdown's changed so many people, bro.
Bro, like I would never normally have time to make biscuits from scratch. like from scratch ingredients. To the point where the first time I done them, they didn't even come out right. They came out like scones.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, right, what am I doing wrong? I was like, okay, cool. Maybe I just need the yolk. So I've done the yolk, done it again. They came out wrong. Then I realized I had the wrong sugar because I'm making it normal sugar.
Yeah.
But I've casting sugar. So yeah, my lockdown was very like, you know, I tried to do a bit of meditation and stuff like that. And
then Danny, you do meditation, innit?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I do TM and mindfulness.
What now?
TM. So TM's like you sit up straight. You do it twice a day. 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And you have a mantra going on in your head.
Yeah.
And you just stay focused on that. And then mindfulness is just watching your breathing and just focus on your breathing. You don't get distracted by thoughts. When
Okay.
thoughts come, you just go back.
All right, bro. Calm down, man.
Yeah.
Yes, you're not on the podcast.
That sounds like real meditation.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just sit
man.
up next to my bed and just close my eyes and put on some relaxing music.
Yeah.
For like
Spice
20 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Having a good time. But yeah, but no, we done that, and then we had the TV show, All Star Happy Hour, which was mad because my house literally got taken over of like literally a set. So I had a spare room, and my spare room was like my little place. I could just make my videos and stuff, and I was getting to this cool routine of just creating stuff. I had a green screen, never used it. Cool, and make some stuff.
Yeah.
And then they came in. I'll never forget the first day they came in. They had like a few bits. Yeah, let's say this set up here. Let's say they brought this in. I was like, cool, man, this looks good for the thing. And the guy was like, I never forget this guy was like, no, this is only 10%, more to come. And I swear to you, my house was like, you know, the big studio cameras with the that move around. You had those in. The spare room was like a edit suite and stuff. So I pretty much was stuck in my bedroom. But it was a really good challenge to have. And I was saying recently to a friend, I was just like, you know, like things you can tell your kids about. Just like, wow, when this happened, I made a TV show. That got broadcasted from my house to the nation. And yeah, so for me, like, so far, so good, you know? Like, there's a lot more people in worse situations, so I don't really... It's quite hard to be like, yeah, it's been a great lockdown, because I got friends out there being on furlough and losing jobs and stuff, so yeah. But for myself, it's been okay, man, considering the situations, but I always look at what everyone else is doing and how they're feeding, so it's like, do you know what? It's all right. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Did they scratch anything, though, or break anything, or...
Yeah,
you saw like a pot missing or something
because they had to like drill in like the walls and stuff, and the walls are like clear.
Yeah.
So that obviously had to put up stuff. So at first it was a bit like, rubber, they're feeling like they're mashing up my house. Like I never forget because people kept coming into the door.
Yeah.
And because of the whole social distance thing, like it was really serious. Like we had to sign like contracts. There was all this COVID stuff. People was in like all the protective stuff. There could only be 2 people in at a time.
Yeah, they take it too seriously,
innit? But this is like the height of it. So everyone really had to be. They had to have gloves on and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And like it was like, even like because of what it was considered like work, but like we was like a working studio basically.
Yeah.
Had to put up like where I live in my flat. I had to put up like a thing to say we're gonna be recording here, so there might be loud noises and stuff. Like it was like real like stuff goes into it. In my head, I'm like, let's get some cameras and film, man. But when we started getting to the bare bones of it, I remember my door kept like it was opening, kept getting shut all the time to the point where I was like, hey
guys.
You're like so polite. Excuse me, can you guys please stop slamming the door? I would really appreciate that. But other than that, the crib was okay, man.
Yeah.
It was all right, bruv. Yeah.
I think the first thing I would want to say is, ask is, like, what was your childhood like especially with your parents? Because I know that you talk a lot about your childhood in your stand-up.
Yeah, of course.
And some funny stories. So, like, how was your relationship with your family, and how did you kind of like, what was your kind of like family life like growing up?
Yeah, I think for me, family life, I lived on quite a big estate with a lot of other young kids around as well. So it was all like kind of similar ages, maybe 2 years older, 2 years below. So I've got two older sisters.
Okay.
2 older sisters and my mum. So I was kind of raised by, I always say I'm kind of like raised by women because they was a lot older than me.
Yeah.
So I'm the youngest of the family, which is a mad dynamic because when you're the youngest, you have no say. Doesn't matter. Like you're the youngest. Yeah. But then you're kind of like, the one that's kind of protected a little bit.
Yeah, I guess.
Because you're the baby of the family.
Yeah.
But you have no power. So it's like, let's say for example, we're going to order pizza. I think we should get margarita. Shut up, man. You're the youngest, bruv. What do you know about pizza? Anyway, I'm going to get margarita because I'm the oldest. That's what I just said. Shut up. You're young. So, being the youngest, you have no say. So yeah, I had a really good childhood, man. I was quite fortunate to, as I said, I lived on a big estate with so many different kids. Like my parents weren't together, so I go to my dad's a lot on the weekends. Right. My dad only lived in Brixton and stuff. But yeah, for me, for my childhood, it was pretty much like playing out. Like I talk about that a lot in my stand-up of going out, playing out, climbing trees. And like we used to live in this area, so there used to be like some woods on the right-hand side. We used to build like camps, climb trees and stuff. I remember once, I never forget, I was thinking this recently, there used to be like these football pitches, right? Like AstroTurfs. Yeah. And I remember I used to climb on this tree, and climb up this tree. This was quite a big tree, bearing in mind, And I used to just chill at the top of this tree, bruv. Yeah. That was like my little bit to chill on, bruv. And this was a high tree, bruv. Yeah. Like you could fully write off on this tree, like. But that's what I used to do. Like when I was like, I don't think I was even that. How old was I? I want to say I was maybe like 11, 12, possibly.
Imagine doing it now.
Bro.
That'd be mad, innit?
Sometimes I will try and climb over like a little railing. Like, you know, like when you try and cross there, there's a little railing there. Yeah. And even then I'm like, whoa, man. Yeah. Raw boy, my legs are all stiff. Whereas a kid, like I'd never forget. I had no phone, nothing. I would just sit in the tree and just chill.
Yeah. But you could do that, innit? Imagine just like, I want to chill, man. Oh, look, that's a nice tree. And you just, imagine someone sees you and you're just there like dangling from a branch.
People do, because there used to be a garden on one side. Yeah. And then there's these other football pitches on the other side. So I'd chill and all the guys were playing football. Yeah. Like, because like an AstroTurf, so I used to run like leagues there on the weekdays, sorry. And I remember just chilling there one day. So I'm going to chill in the tree in it, put my bike at the bottom. And I was fully chilling in the top of this tree. I'd go there and I'd chill in the top of this tree. Yeah. And on the other side is like gardens and there's like a kind of cycle path. So you see a lot of bikes go past and stuff. You see loads of people walk past like, what the f*** is that? What is that black guy doing in the tree, bruv? Just chilling, bruv.
Were you just staring into the sky?
Bruv, I was just literally just relaxed, like just chilling, like in the tree, bruv. And
sounds like a vibe, to be fair, man.
Do you know what? When I think about it now, I was like, I'd love to do that now. But every part of me is like, there's a lot more at stake in it. Like, if I fall, it's long. Why are you in the tree, big man? I want to relax. Big man, go sleep, bro.
Yeah.
Why are you in a tree?
I think people would you'd get arrested, to be fair. Somehow you get arrested.
What, above someone's garden now? Excuse me, sir. We caught you in the tree. Peeping Tom? Nah, bro. Just relaxing, bro.
Just chilling, man. Just having a good time.
Yeah, I used to just sit in this tree and just like literally climb it and just chill out, bro.
Do you ever go back to it?
Nah, but weirdly enough, me and my mates, we were cycling that other day. Yeah. And we took I showed them this route. I said, look, because basically it's like a top of a hill. Yeah. And as you go down it, it's like a long cycle lane. So basically, if anyone knows where Champion Hill Estate is in Camberwell, It basically goes all the way and leads to there's a private girls' school called Alain's, I think is what it's called. But it's just like this long road. So you basically just like if you cycle, it's a lovely road because you can really hit speeds. It's like a long hill, innit? So we were me and my friends, we do cycling every other Monday. So we was like cycling, and I was like, let's go this route. So I went past the tree. It's been a long time, still it's still there. But and then as I said, like with a lot of my childhood, it was weird. We used to just literally just do playing out things. Like that's what I mean. When I'm talking about playing out and just chilling on a tree, that's what I do. I'd be out all day. And you know, as a kid, you're like, I don't really want to go in. There's nothing here for me. Yeah,
it's like the end, isn't it? Like when you go back in the house, it's like the end. You know what I mean? It's like finish like this.
And scene. That's a good way to summarize it. Still. But it's true. It's like that thing. As a kid, you want to stay out as long as possible. So for me, I was weirdly enough, like when it comes to comedy, like now a lot of people say, oh yeah, you was quite a funny kid, like growing up. And I was like, oh, was I? I don't know. Like people say I was quite cheeky and stuff, but a lot of that feels like a blur, if I'm honest, how my actual personality was as a kid. I remember I used to be a bit of a moaner when it came to football and stuff. I wasn't a great fighter. I was very good at talking the talk.
Do you remember ever getting into like a really bad fight?
I got into some scuffs, man. I got punched up as a kid a couple of times, man. Yeah, man. I got punched up, man. I remember
Why are you smiling while saying it?
Nah, because I was just like, when I smile because it's like I kind of deserve some of them in it.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Because I was quite a cocky kid, not cocky in the sense of like, I would. How can I say, like, I was very much like I could talk the talk. I could sound like I was menacing in it as a kid. What, are you mad, bruv? Oh my God, this guy wants to talk. I'll tell you what, hold my socks. Man, I'm like, bro, why is he taking these socks off, bro? Then you get one kid like, go on then, take off your socks. What? Give me my socks and put on socks back on, bruv. I don't even want to fight today because it's a Tuesday. I don't fight on Tuesdays. So, I was always a kid who could kind of talk the talk, but not really walk the walk as such. But I had a really good childhood when I look back at it. Because I said, like, you know, single parent household, everyone was kind of in the same predicament. Like, no one was really rich where we grew up. Do you know what I mean? Like, but then at the same time, no one was really poor because we kind of would just play out. We go swimming on a Saturday and stuff like that. So it's like sometimes when you look back at your childhood, you're like, I don't know if I grew up really poor. We didn't have a lot, but we didn't need a lot.
Yeah, I get you.
Because we had community. You could go out and play out and stuff like that. If you didn't have a bike, it's cool. You might be able to borrow someone else's bike.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
That's
mean?
nice. Yeah, that is nice.
And I think that was the thing, you know, where like, you know, if my mum was going out, I'd stay at my best friend's house or something like that. So I think I was quite fortunate in that sense. It's only when you get a bit older and you realise, Robbie was actually a little bit poor, you know. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, just like some things that like when there weren't food in the house. And it's like, making corned beef and rice. That's what we're having for dinner. And we're having that tomorrow. But when you're growing up, you're just like, well, that's what we're having for dinner. And it's until you get a bit older where like you have some friends like, and be like, we went Disneyland as a kid. You went Disneyland? A whole, what, Florida, not even Paris. You guys are rich. You guys are 100% rich.
So like, because you said that you didn't really think that you were funny or it was all a blur at first. But when did you actually realize that, you know what, I'm actually really funny, you know? And like, you thought you'd take it, was it something that you always wanted to do, get into comedy, or was it just...
That's a good question. I think for me, it kind of came when I was more into secondary school. Because as a kid, I was just like, play football, like maybe I'll grow up, maybe a footballer. That whole footballer thing lasted maybe like 3 years. Because I would just play every Sunday. And that's what I was just into. I think most kids have that thing when you grow up, you're just really into this. I'm really into this. I'm passionately into it. I research it. I can see that. And that's what I like. You know, kids might do that with like computer games, why they're so good now. I'm so good. I know how to do this. I know how to do this. But because that's only where you really need to put your time into. And that's why I always say, you know, to any young people listening, put your time and effort into these things. Enjoy it. Because there's nothing wrong with you moving on later on. But at the same time, that's a hobby. Do you know what I mean? If you're good at Fortnite, that's your hobby. Because there's sometimes I think young kids now is like they're only on PlayStation. Like, when you got kids playing Fortnite, winning like £1 million. You got parents who are like, oh, how much?
Exactly.
Hey man, get training.
Yeah,
You know?
100%. Yeah.
But I think for myself is like when I was about 14, one of my secondary teachers, Miss Simpson, she sat me down and she said, look, you're really good at like performing arts, and I think you should really look at pursuing that. You know, there's nothing to say you can't do football, but I feel like this will be a career for you growing up, and that just changed my whole. That's who I am. That's why I'm here today, if I'm honest, because I never had a teacher say that.
Yeah.
No teacher had ever sat me down and said, you're good at this. And it's not that other teachers didn't do their job, but that was the first teacher to really help me realize my potential in what I'm kind of good at, and see that and tell that to a student. Because sometimes you don't know. Sometimes just going through the motions as a 14-year-old or 15-year-old of like, cool, I'm just going to school. Yeah. That's what I'm meant to do. That's what I'm told to do. And that's what I do because I've been told to do it. Where sometimes when you have someone who is 14, 15 and you say, look, you're really good at this, you know, just not that pressure you, bro, do it. It's like, maybe look into it. Like, you're quite good. So that's kind of where it was. It started. Yeah. Then when I left, obviously like I left school. I didn't have great GCSEs. I'll be honest, I was very lazy. Yeah. I was just like, look, I kind of just want to do this acting thing. Geography. And weirdly enough, that also comes from my dad, because my dad's a Rastafarian, right? So my dad's always like, look, man, like you do what you want to do and kind of thing. Yeah. And he's always been a bit of a realist, which sometimes I don't think that's great for a 14-year-old to tell them geography ain't going to be important when you're my age. You're like, really? Well, my dad said it, so exactly. I believe him. And as I said, like my mum was busy. She's a single parent, so she couldn't really be in my studies as such. And a lot of the work, she didn't understand it. I'm like, yo, mum, Pythagoras theorem, help me out. She's like, I don't know what that is still. So a lot of those kind of subjects, my parents weren't really the people I could go to. Yeah. And then through that, because I was dyslexic as well, so for me, I'd rather talk in a class than ask for help and be a bit of a class clown.
I've noticed that, most creatives are dyslexic. Yeah. Because I'm dyslexic as well. Yeah. And like so many people that are, in the industry, they're all dyslexic.
Do you know the cool thing, is that with dyslexia, it's different for everyone else. Like some people have different strengths. Like for me, like growing up in school, like I'd sit there in maths and I'm like, look, I know the basics of maths, innit? Yeah. I know 1 + 1 is 2, innit? I get the basics, add and subtract, times, all that stuff. The minute you start getting into X plus this,
algebra, letters and stuff,
I was always out. I was like, as a 14-year-old, I was like, I don't really see how this is going to benefit me right now, this minute. Yeah. So I'm kind of out. Yeah. And it was kind of like the same with English a little bit as well. Yeah. Where it was like, this, and I was like, I don't really know how that's benefiting me right now. Yeah. So I'm just going to talk in this lesson. But don't get me wrong. If you're a young person listening to this and you want to get into other careers, pursue maths and English. Yeah. Like that's the one thing I look back on as an adult now and think, maybe I should have pushed better in those subjects. Yeah. Not that like man sitting here right now is like, how do you sign this contract? Let me put the date at the back. 1, 2. Because of like, but I think especially like when I was in college, for example, and they were saying you need to, getting into university, you need to have this qualification, English, or this in maths to kind of go into university. Those things started to really count and make sense. Then I was playing catch up. But for me, when I was around about kind of like 19, a friend of mine just said, look, my auntie's got this wedding. Love you to do some stand up. And people always say I'm funny, but I was like, cool. Not like funny how, not like Joe Pesci funny. like I amuse you. But just like people would always say I'm funny. And I was always like, oh, cool. But like, you got to remember that is real comics doing stand up. I'm just someone who is funny around you guys. It was trying to understand that. And I kind of got introduced to Def Comedy Jam. Yeah. That was my first, that was the first place I seen comics talking. Yep. But also talking about subjects I was also learning about. Yeah. So I'm learning about what the LA riots were, OJ Simpson, Rodney King. I'm learning about all these things, but I'm seeing comics talking about it in comedy. I'd never seen comedy like this before.
Def Comedy Jam was like, I was addicted to it.
Yeah,
Same.
same.
It was something I've never seen before.
Yeah.
And I think that's what made me fall in love with like stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, it was just seeing all these comics come out to a crowd who was like, go on there, make us laugh. And go out there and smash it. Everybody would always be different. And that was all I always say is my first introduction because I really laughed. Yeah. I remember I had some DVDs when I was like 14, 15. I remember going into school the next day, telling people the stuff that I'd seen on these Def Comedy Jams. I was like, there's this one guy and he does this routine. And people are laughing like it's me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's not me who told this joke. I'm not telling you. Like, this is what I seen on this DVD.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, I was in registration. Yeah. And I was telling everyone, I was like, bruv, and this other guy, he does this. And I'm literally reciting all the jokes like they're mine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, then there's one guy, he does it. And everyone's like around in the class, like laughing around.
Yeah.
And that was always like, kind of like where you get your audience. You're like, bro, people are listening to me laughing.
Yeah.
Then I'd be on the bus on the way home, 14, 15, like cracking jokes, cussing
you were
people.
the bus leaders.
I was one of the people at the back of the bus.
Yeah.
But it's always awkward in the back of the bus when your friends get off and you're like, see you later.
The last 10 minutes.
Alright, cool. Just head vibrating on the on the back of the bus while like, you know, the adults are looking at you. Not so funny now, are ya? Now your friends have gone. So I think for me, like, I started comedy when I was 19.
So you took
my
the job.
first proper gig. Yeah.
For the wedding?
Yes.
How did it go?
It went really well. It was very daunting because it's a wedding.
Yeah.
And no one needs to laugh at anyone at a wedding. Unless you're the best man. So the fact that I got laughs was like, cool. That was my first taste. Then a family friend of ours called David, he basically said, look, I'll do this comedy night in this small club called Dulwich Hamlet.
Yeah.
We put on this club. We put on this night. And like loads of my friends came to support. It's like, we're going to come. And I remember the host was like, okay, cool, I'm going to put you one in the middle with this other lady. She's also new. So already I was like, okay, cool. Like, wow, like I'm proper doing a real gig. My friends had come, everyone's supporting. And I remember him saying to me, he's like, look, you've got 5 minutes. Yeah. You're going to be on first and this other lady's going to be on second in the middle. Got on stage. I wrote down all these jokes. I'm going to do this. Because remember, I'm like 19. I had no experience. Like, what am I talking about? Even to this day, I don't know what I was talking about in that set. But I was always quite okay with accents and changing my voice around and stuff. And I think I was on stage for about 25 minutes.
Wow.
Because everyone was laughing.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, is this what stand-up's like?
Yeah, it's addictive, innit?
It's like...
Once you have the crowd.
Once you have them in the palm of your hand, you don't want to leave that stage.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't want this to stop.
Yeah.
That
feeling is...
And the thing is, when you first do stand-up, the one thing I wasn't ever aware of was time. I was just like, I just want to do good.
Yeah.
So as long as I need to take, I will keep trying to be good.
Yeah.
And then time came to me a little bit later on as I started doing stand-up, doing more shows, and then realizing what a 5 minutes was, we're realizing what like a 10-minute set was. But that comes with time. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to get, as I say, if you're trying to get into this field now, don't worry about, having a good 5 minutes. It's important a bit later on.
Yeah.
But just worry about having like 2 or 3 bits of really good material. And just keep making that better.
Yeah.
And then how you can expand to make 10 minutes and stuff. And then before you know it, you can be comfortable enough to be on stage and talk to a crowd member and then come back into a set or do a callback or do something with accents or music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the really cool thing with stand-up is the longer you do it, the better you feel like you're getting. Even now, like I'm an established comic.
Yeah.
That even feels weird saying that, but
having your own special on Netflix, I mean, that's that's huge. I remember I don't even know what to say, like literally, because obviously I've known you for a bit now.
Yeah.
But when I saw that, man, that was, for me, that was like, this guy is going to be a great,
thanks,
because how many people in your position in the UK can turn around and say, I've got a special on Netflix.
Yeah. I think that for me was, as a stand-up, you look at these points of like, what you want to achieve in your career. You want to, everyone, you want to have, you look at milestones of like, I remember when I had my first sold out show.
Yeah.
I remember when I done my first tour. I remember when I toured outside of London. I remember when I remember when I had a show outside of the UK.
Yeah.
These are all milestones that I remember so vividly. And then when the Netflix thing happened, right, it was so weird because you could imagine I had already shot one version of this special.
Yeah.
And we'd edited it and it was like, cool. And then when the conversation was happening with Netflix, it was like, yeah, we love it. Like, we want to do it bigger. And this is the first time someone said this to me. Like, yeah, we want this, we like it, but we want a bigger version than this.
Yeah.
Like, really? You want bigger? All right. Well, they
Bigger
like
check.
it. But it's like someone saying, we like you, but we want to like you even more. And you're like, really? What should I do? like, and I think it was that also that realization of just that, all right, cool. If I'm going to have this, my thing is with comedy, I try to make a lot of my comedy quite timeless.
Yeah.
So you could watch it at any time, whether you watch it now or you watch it 3 years, and it's still kind of relevant to an extent.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've always tried to work on as my style anyway. And then it's my observations, how I see the world from my eyes. So I've always tried to show that in my stand-up. And then, when that came out, you got to remember, like, I couldn't tell no one about that. That's one of the biggest secrets I've had to keep in, knowing that people will know soon.
Yeah.
What are you doing, man? What you been up to? Nothing much, man, Just see, man. Bear in mind, it's this is coming out next month, know?
Yeah.
There's a really funny story where, so basically we've shot it now. It's all secret kind of thing, innit?
Yeah.
Like, even when we shot it, the people recording it didn't know what it was for. The venue didn't know.
Yeah.
Obviously there's people turning up who are from like LA and stuff. Great, man. We really love it, man.
Yeah.
Great, man. You got to come to our offices in London. Like, it was really secret. And then, like, I was in Edinburgh last year, hosting the Edinburgh TV Awards.
Yeah.
I think it was the TV Awards. Was you guys up there?
We were
Yes,
there.
you did.
Yeah,
Yes.
front row. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I tried to wave at you. No eye contact, nothing. I was like, raw, man. That special got to him, man. That big special got to him. Don't even rate, man. I swear, like, honestly, I know that 2 more specials, you're gone. No more friendship. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm just gonna keep looking at that picture and be like, oh, I used to know Mo. We did a 12-minute episode one time.
But the maddest thing is, when I went up to Edinburgh, so Netflix have this thing of what's coming out each month.
Yeah.
So they have, cool, this is coming out on the 12th, the 13th. And they're obviously saying, look, boom, like, we keep this secret until, because their whole thing is that we announce it 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, wicked, isn't it? So Top Boy is coming out also the same month that I am. So that comes out, I think that came on the 13th or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's like really huge already.
Yeah.
So it's like,
can I just say something about Top Boy?
Yeah.
Bro, you know what? I remember we went to the premiere, right? We were at the premiere.
In Hackney.
Yeah. So I hadn't seen you for quite a while.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget this. You don't know this, yeah? So I was like, hey Mo, like, how you been? Whatever, blah blah blah, because we haven't spoken for a while.
Yeah.
So you started talking.
Yeah.
And as soon as you started talking, Drake was literally right behind you, walking slowly, and I see Danny behind him going, it's Drake. So I'm trying to like pay attention to you, like Netflix special, sick.
I remember that now.
And you know what's about this thing? I was like, Mo is my friend, but I always wanted a picture with Drake. Yeah, that is gonna kill the gram. Yeah. And I was like, do I just say, Mo, one second, excuse me, can I have a picture? Or do I not disrespect the thing and keep this relationship going for a few more years? And bro, I swear to you, I was like, no, you can't do that tomorrow, man. Carry on, because you were saying some important things. So I was like, all right, cool. And then I just let him go, and I just remember the wind, like the way he just walked past me, it hurt, man. So, and I was literally in my heart, I was like, Mo better be my best friend for my like forever. Like, we better be like hanging like on that tree, like in a year's time, like just reminiscing, because Because I sacrificed Drake, bro. But carry on. Sorry, I had to say that.
I remember that now. Now
Yeah,
you
I
say
remember.
that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
sacrificed Drake for you, bro.
I remember. Do you know why I remember that?
Yeah.
Because a week before we was in Edinburgh
Yeah.
at the awards, and then I had announced the top the Netflix thing.
Yeah, the Netflix thing.
Because
yeah.
I was like, oh, because Danny even said, oh, congratulations on Netflix,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
And I was like, yeah, man, you know, well,
Yeah.
So now you say that, I was like, I remember because he said, yeah, man, I have been able to tell no one. What I'm literally telling you right now.
That's what I was thinking. I would never forget it. Like, and because you just started. Like,
You
it's
had
not
the grey
even like.
pinstripe suit on, innit?
Yeah. I remember if it would have been like 10, 15 minutes into the conversation, I could have been like, oh, 1 second, Mo, let me just get a picture.
Yeah,
but because
yeah.
you just started, if I turned around and said, actually, can you just shut the fuck up for 1 second? Hey, Drake, I'm a big fan. Like, I couldn't even say that, bro. I just remember, bro.
That. I remember that. I fully remember that.
So if you never reply to my text again, just remember, I'm somewhere in South London thinking, man chose you over Drake. But anyway, it's a minor. But carry on, sorry, bro.
I
have to tell you the
fully
story.
remember everything now, innit? As you're saying that, we was sitting.
Oh man,
Oh man!
I love Drake.
Do you know what's so funny about that? Is the amount of times I've been in a place where I've been in a club or something, and someone is talking to me, and I'm like, bruv, my tune is on right now, you know. I've been waiting all night to hear this track. Yeah, man. So I just feel that, you know, like it'll be really great. And I'm like, I hear you, bro, but
not
let
now.
me. Can you? You know, you go have a pause button.
Yeah.
All right, let me just skank. Oh man, that's so funny, man.
Because even my mum does that as well. Like when I'm watching her program with her, and I try to talk to her, make a conversation. So like, 1 second. Like proper like blows me off. Like I'm not even her son, just like a roommate. But when it's my show that I'm watching and I'm trying to get into it, she wants to talk about life or how my sister pissed her off, or do you know what I mean? Or she's having problems with my dad. Like, bro, like, and I keep like pausing it, and I'm like, all right, cool. Give her like a minute or so. Then I try to play it, but she's not even finished yet. And then I have to pause it again, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just tape this, man. It's mad. And then she deletes it after.
Sky Plus it.
Space.
Yeah. You know what? Let me just catch this.
Huh? Nah. To be, you know what? My mum's actually quite. She tapes everything that I'm in.
Yeah, my mum.
It's almost like desperate. Do you know what I mean? And that's a bit weird to say about your mum, but I'm like, you're a bit. You know what I mean? Like I get it.
My mum's the same. Whenever I do anything, like sometimes I'll be mentioned on something. She's like, I was watching this morning. They mentioned you as. Yeah. Did you know? I was like, nah, I have no idea. I have no idea. Like,
but thank you for telling me.
Thank you, mum. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much.
They love to mums, man.
But yeah, I think for me is like Netflix is that is.
You smashed it, and it was hilarious as well.
Thanks a lot, man.
It was hilarious, man.
Thank you, man.
It's so funny. And I always say this. I'm not just saying this because obviously we're boys in that, but I genuinely think that you're one of the best stand-ups that I've seen for a long time. Like I could watch you all day and not get bored. Like I think your delivery, your tone, your stories, everything's just. But I said this to you like when we did the Sky Jumpers.
Yeah, I remember.
You know, I was telling Danny, and I was like, I don't rate many people. Yeah, like I don't know. It's not arrogance or confidence or anything, but I'm just like sometimes like, nah, okay, you know, they're doing their thing, cool. But when I saw you, I was like, this guy, because you were blowing up on social first for a very long time. Even now, I mean, you know. Bruv, your social media is amazing anyway. But you know the videos that you're doing and that's how
I think for me it was like, for me in social media, I was always like, not anti, but it was like, I can do this on stage. So why would I do this on Instagram? Yeah. That's how I just used to be. And I don't know why I was like that.
But I think it was good promo though, man.
Oh, definitely, man. That's how I always say, that's how I've gained my audience. Yeah. Like, I will never be one of them people's like, nah, I got my audience because obviously man's been touring and it's like, no, like they followed what I do on my socials and it was able to spread out to doing tours and then from tours, TV and then so on and so forth. But definitely, man, that's what I've gained my biggest audiences.
One question I wanted to ask is about you saying that you've had, you know, like bad shows because basically we were talking about stand-up, like because obviously like stand-up, like I need to get back into it. Danny's always, I said in your podcast as well, if you haven't checked his podcast out with Mo, it's hilarious. But yeah, and I was talking about stand-up and how like, you know, I'd get really nervous, but when I'm on stage, it's the best feeling ever. Yeah. But if it goes wrong, it's literally like you feel like your soul just left you in Pakistan for a while and just chill with the Taliban. You know what I mean? One of those ones. You know what I mean? Just comes back when he wants, like a few weeks later. But what was like? Have you ever had like one really bad one?
I remember the one that always comes to me when I think of bad shows. I remember I was doing this show for this thing in Edinburgh, the Edinburgh Festival. So what it is, you go there, you perform, and if you're good, they put you on a roster of loads of other comics, and you're up there for the whole month. They pay for you, you get accommodation and stuff. So I was like, cool, it's a great show to do where I can get some exposure. So you have to go to the tryouts, which is in Leicester somewhere, and there's a guy who runs it, and if he likes you, and he's like, chances are you'll be able to perform up there. So I was like, cool, man, this would be great. You know, Polly's like, yeah, cool, man, this would be really good. You can get to perform. You got Edinburgh, like they pay for you. I was like, fantastic. Gone up there. I've got this set ready. Bearing in mind, I have a lot of music in my acts. So I'll talk about, you know, when your mum dances like this, and can you play that song? So I go up there, my iPad. I've always had my iPad on my laptop. So I had to travel to Leicester. I had to get a really early train, even though the show was until 8 o'clock. I had to catch the 3 o'clock train because it's the cheapest ticket. So I think it was, if you go on like Megabus, they have a train that only goes from like London to Nottingham. It's like super cheap, like, it's like £20 or something.
But it takes like 20 hours.
No, it's still fast.
Is it fast,
it's the only 3 o'clock one. So if you can't go at 4 o'clock, you can't go at 6. You have to go at 3 o'clock. And I think they do like a return, which is like, I think it's at 8 o'clock. So you can only go there in that hour and come back within this hour. So I was like, cool, this show's going to start at 7. So I was like, decent, I can go on kind of early and still catch my 8 o'clock train. So I've got there mad early. It was in this pub downstairs. So I'm at this pub at like I got there at 4 o'clock. So I'm like, bro, I've got like 4 hours to chill. What do I do? So I was just like, cool, take my laptop, listen to some music. Put my headphones in, maybe just do some work, something. Get there, and I'm there for like 4 hours, chilling, like in this pub. Just, you all right, mate? Yeah, if I can get another water with ice and a lime, cheers, thanks. Just trying to get the cheapest things. I was broke. I was like, oh, can I get some crisps? Great, man. Yeah. Mate, can I get another packet of those crisps? Like, because I don't think I even had enough money to even really get like food, if that makes sense. So cool, I've gone up there now, and then the promoter's like, oh wow, you're here early? I'm like, yeah, I am. You know, I'm here early. Oh, great. What it is, some of the other comics, they ran a bit late because all the other comics had travelled with each other. So they're all coming together because that was normally happens. Sometimes you get someone drives car share type of vibe, innit? Cool. So they're like, so what we're gonna do? We're going to put you on first. Is that all right? So I was like, cool. I was actually meant to be second. And I kind of used to like being second because you can get a sense of the tone of the room. So I was like, you know what? I'll go on first because these guys are a bit late so I can still catch my train at 8 o'clock, innit? No problems. Boom, now. I've got on. The host is there. All right, we got this guy coming up. You're getting a couple hours. There's only like 12 people in this room. 12 people, which is like, sometimes we hear 12 is like not a lot. But if it's I'm talking like, the room was a little bit bigger than this.
Oh, wow.
So with 12, it's like quite a few people.
Still feels like
quite a lot of people. But I always say, look, funny is funny, innit? Whether you're performing in front of 12 or 1,200, you can still try and make them laugh, innit? So boom, get on stage now. Told the one joke, airtime. They're not laughing. So I'm like, all right, cool, fair enough. Told the other joke. They're not laughing. So I'm like, cool. Now the third joke, this is a music setup now, innit? So I'm like, yeah, you know, it's like when you go out and DJ, play that. He's trying to play it, but he's messing up the thing. So I'm like, bruv, come on, man. I'm 3 jokes in, bruv. You're playing and I'm like, yeah, sorry, no, it's not that song. It's the first one on the, yeah, that's the one. Then he's playing, no, if you can stop it now, and then I'm gonna, thank you.
Horrible, man.
So you know when you go out, and then this happens. Yes, second one. And then he's played it. Bruv, no one is still laughing, bruv. And I remember being on stage and I'm like, I got to go into my 4th joke. Because obviously my set is like 10 minutes. And I'm just like, rah, no one is laughing. So then I'm like, yeah, man. So, where you guys from? So one guy was like, mate, we're all from Nottingham, mate. I was like, cool. So anyone from London in the house? This other guy was like, just you, mate. That's true. Well, thank you. That's my time. Have a good evening. Bruv, I will never forget, I got off that stage. I sat down in my seat, I was pissed, bruv, Even the way I looked on stage, I had some nice jeans on, leather jacket. I'm sitting there, I'm like, maybe it's the leather jacket. It's the leather jacket. Why did I wear a leather jacket? Yeah. Nah, man, I think it's the leather jacket. Yeah, man.
It was the crisps.
Bruv, I'm sitting there and I am fuming, innit? I'm on the phone. Yeah. I'll never forget. I text Polly. I was like, how did it go? Yeah, man. I think I might just take more shifts because this comedy stuff is becoming quite difficult and quite time consuming. So I kind of really want to concentrate on working in retail right now. Some long paragraph, bro.
I love it, bro.
And then hear this now. I'm looking at the time, Looking at the time, guy comes over to me. Mate, I just wanted to say, mate, this is the guy who runs the gig. Mate, I just want to say, I'm thinking he's going to give me some good, like, constructive criticism, innit? Mate, I just want to say, mate, I think you might have missed your train. I'm like, sorry? He's like, yeah, it's 8 o'clock. And it's like, now it's 8:05. But I've organised with some of the guys, you can get a lift with them. Yeah. I was like, fuck these guys, bro. I get a lift with these guys, bro. They're the last guys I want to get a lift with. So I'm stressed now, innit? I'm like, I've missed my train. Now I've got to get a lift back with people I don't know. Yeah. And I'm just like fuming. Boom. Next guy comes on stage. Bruv, they start laughing at his jokes. Yeah. So I'm like, cool. Maybe it's a glitch. Like, maybe it's a glitch. When the other guy comes on, he's going to get airtime like me, innit? Yeah. They're laughing, bruv. All the other comics got laughs. Yeah. So already I'm sitting there like, it must be racism. It's the only way. It can't be, I work funny. Maybe I work funny, but it's also racism as well on top of that as well, innit? Like, I was fuming. So now I'm in the car on the way back, going from Nottingham to London. It's about a 2.5 hour drive, and we're in this, I think it must have been like it's a kind of tight car. I remember it was like a Nissan Micra, something like, I remember everyone was tight, basically, innit?
Like touching, everyone's touching.
Yeah, like in the back is tight. And I'm like, brother, I could have been on the train by myself, chilling, innit? Yeah. So boom, we're in the car, and I'm hearing all these comics, man. Yeah, man, it's a good gig, man. Yeah, one comic, it's good. I don't really know if my set was that great today, man. I'm like, bruv, you got laughs. I'm in the car and you lot talking about what laughs you got. I didn't even get a single laugh. I was fuming. That has to be my worst gig ever. Like, I'm talking, like, it's like, I've done gigs with like 10 people in the room and I've been able to make them laugh. But this 12 people, they're all racist BNP members. They have to be, because not a single person. I mean, you see what it is, There's, sometimes you can have a gig where you're like, I weren't that funny. But there's a couple people giving you sometimes you have a gig, right? You'll think, oh man, that was dead. There'll be one guy, come to you, mate, I just thought you was fantastic, man. I really enjoyed myself. Fantastic. But that guy can make your day, You're like, you know what? No one laughed, but big up to that guy, man. Yeah. Or just someone even comes up and says, you know what? Well done, man. Like, this is the cool thing, When you do mainstream gigs, or like mainstream, or you can call them like white comedy gigs, they'll give you a clap for trying, Hey, man, well done. You gave it a go, man. Well done on you. Like, I don't really watch that type of comedy, but well done, So sometimes when you go to these gigs, you're like, man's at least gonna get a well done in it, brother. People was walking at me near the door like, bro, mate.
I remember I was saying to you as well before we started, whenever I think you put it up on your YouTube channel, the one where there was like it wasn't a heckler. He was just moody. He just looked really...
No, he was a heckler.
Yeah, was he? Or did he?
100% heckler.
I remember it starting... You asked for his age, right?
Yeah, I think I was talking about wrestling. I was like, who still watches wrestling? And I was like, me, not so much. I don't really watch it. I used to watch it back in the day.
Yeah.
I used to watch... I think I said something. I used to watch like WrestleMania or Royal Rumble. Yeah. And then he just shouted out, yeah, you're wet, bruv.
Oh, yeah. And
I was like...
And he was like the least hood-looking guy I've ever seen in my life. Like, some people who say that, you look at their face like, all right, you look like someone who would say that kind of lingo. Yeah. But he looked like an office worker that lives in Camden.
Every part of me was like,
and like
I'm not as a comic, I'm not a malicious comic who goes on stage looking
Yeah.
for people to. I'll always talk to people.
Yeah.
100%. If you're ever at my gig, if you're at the front, what's good, man? What's your name, man?
Yeah.
If you don't give me nothing
Yeah.
and you try and act a bit cool, I will make you uncool, innit?
Yeah,
Because
you
I'm
got
like,
the
come
mic.
on, don't
Yeah.
do that, man. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
saying, hey, what's up, man? What's your name? Greg, man. Where'd you work? In the city. What, you're a banker, yeah? Okay, who's this, your missus? All right, I see you, bruv. What? With a nice suit. I'll try and make him feel good about himself in some way, innit? And even if I do get someone, it's never in a malicious way.
Yeah.
Like, it's always a bit like a tongue-in-cheek, but at the same time, 9 times out of 10, I've done gigs.
Yeah.
And if I've made someone feel a bit bad, I'll say, look, my bad, I was just joking.
Yeah.
Look, man, got a little tab at the bar, get yourself some drinks.
Yeah.
It's on me, innit?
Yeah.
Not everybody's always like, no, man, it's just fine, man. Some people like it, bruv. Some people heckle me because they want to get gunned, bruv.
Yeah.
And still, I'm like, look, I'm not going to gun you, innit?
Oh, but you hurt his soul,
Like,
though.
but that guy, it was like, dude, like, that's uncalled for, man. That was towards the end of the show, you know?
I know.
That was the end of the night.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, like, what are you doing, man? Like, where did you get this confidence from, bro?
Yeah, he was crossing his arms and he was like,
Yeah.
you're wet.
No, but it's the way he said it. It's like, you're wet, bruv.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Sometimes you look around, you're like, who's saying this? Like, and you're like,
Yeah.
you. Okay, cool. All right, well, that's what you want. That's like,
It was some bold guy. And then Mo turned around and said, what do you say about the cream?
I was like, I'm wet. And then I said something like, hold on. No, I said like wet. And I was like, hold on, how old are you? Because if you were young, I said something like, if you were young, I could understand that. But you look like my age.
Yeah.
And I think he said something like, I'm 29. And I was like, what? And you're still bald? And everyone's like, ah! And everyone's like laughing at that. And I'm like, about creaming your face and your head at the same time.
And then in the end, he was like, oh, no. You know what? Get a drink token on me. Make sure it's wet.
Yeah, the thing is, it's like that. There's a part of me that says that, look, I'm a very positive, chilled out person, but like, I can't let him in front of the audience think that can happen.
Yeah.
Because then someone else will be like at another show, yeah, you're a dickhead, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa,
if he can do
whoa.
it, I can do it.
Yeah, let's get him.
I remember in Edinburgh Fringe, I remember I was doing like 15 nights.
Yeah.
And I remember I haven't experienced any hecklers or anything like that. Like one or two here and there, but I just kill them off straight away. And I remember I was peeking through the curtain. It was only like 40, 50 seat or whatever. And I realized that the first 2 rows of my show were all those typical like Pakistani boys, bare slits, like earring hair that don't shine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like bare chains, like rusty ones as well. And I knew straight away that I've got an hour to perform.
Yeah.
And one of these guys are gonna say something.
Yeah.
And once one says it, and all of them back him, it could be game over. Because one on one is all right, innit? But when you got like 20 against 1, it's mad. So I said, forget my set.
Yeah.
This is what I'm gonna do. And I came on stage and I thought, I am gonna cuss you individually till your friends turn on you. And there's no unity. So straight away, I went to the first guy, and I just cussed him like silly. Then all of his friends are pushing him and saying, ah, ha, ha. Then I'll cuss another one. And then I'll cuss another one. And then I just broke their like momentum and the energy. I just cracked it. For like 20 minutes, I was literally just cussing them one by one. They're my fans. But I just did it. And then after like about 15 minutes, I got on with my set and everyone just shut up because they didn't want anything. But yeah, I remember I thought I was very clever for that. But
sometimes as a comic, right? And there's a lot of times as when I've done shows where some people want to be cussed, but they want to be part of the show.
Yeah.
And I've had times where someone's talking and I'm like, I remember especially when I used to do like some of my when I was like doing shows on like a Friday night up the creek, proper lads, geezers, shouting out things and stuff. Yeah, you're rubbish, mate. Oh. And then you just got to be quick. Quick. You shut them down and then they give you that respect. Yeah. Because sometimes they're just testing you. They're not even trying to be difficult. It's like, let's see how funny you are. Yeah. Mate, you are awful. I was like, just like your mum last night. Anyway, cool. So, where's everyone from in the room today? And then already they're like, yeah, all right, cool. Yeah. But I don't encourage that from my audience because one, that's just not the kind of vibe. Yeah. And sometimes I've seen comics try and banter back with people and they lose to the
Yeah.
point where you're like, oh, you kind of went a bit
Yeah,
too far there.
Yeah.
There's having a laugh
Yeah,
at
yeah,
someone's
yeah.
expense if they've tried to heckle you,
Yeah.
but you never want it to be like, yeah, I don't think that's funny what you said about that guy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I hope you break your legs tomorrow, bro.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. I think we're gonna go. Yeah, I think we're going.
No, but honestly, man, bro, like as I said, can't wait for your next special. Like I think that the next stand up you do, man, I can't wait to come down and see it.
No,
live
definitely, man. As I said, you know what it's like. Like whenever there's gigs and stuff, you lot just come down, man.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Small gigs, big gigs, like just swing down.
100%, man. And you know what? Like I wanted to talk because we spoke a lot about stand up, but I wanted to talk about like obviously, you know, your shows, you know, stuff with Channel 4, obviously Big Narstie as well when you started off with that. So like just kind of like summarize, like how did that all start? Like what was kind of the order? And what did you like? What didn't you like? And
I think for me, like when the Channel 4 thing happened, I was just doing the tour stuff. So the cut the can stuff was going like, and then I you know, I was already doing like some small pilot stuff with Channel 4. So this was at a time when I was doing the tour. All these people are coming. Like, who's this guy? He's selling out all these gigs. Who the hell is this guy? He's selling out all these tour dates and stuff. So all these people from TV are like coming to see what the hype was really. Do you know what I mean? Because I was selling a tour with no PR, no press. And I'm selling out rooms, and people was like, who is this guy? I've seen his stuff online, but how was he transferred that? To and me not knowing him, to like, and he was working in retail a couple months ago. Who the hell is this guy? So Channel 4 came down, and this was at a time where I was kind of doing some small pilot stuff with them. And then they said, come in. We'd love to have a meeting with you. And in that meeting, they said, look, we love what you do. We think you're going to be a big star, and you deserve your own Friday night show on Channel 4. And that was literally the words of how they said it. I was flabbergasted. I remember just like the first words that came to me was like, oh, I don't want to swear, but was S-H-I-T. And even though I've spelled it out there, but but I remember I just swore because my reaction was like, I didn't think that would happen. That's like stuff that happens in movies, in my opinion. Sometimes it's like, we're going to do it. And then it happens, you might get an email. But this just happened, like going in the room. I used to walk kind of past there sometimes when I used to go to school, because I used to go to school in Pimlico. So I'd sometimes cut through there if I catch a train and stuff. And then for me, I was like, wow, this is going to change my life forever. I'm getting a show, a primetime show, not like 2 a.m. It's like 10 o'clock. And in the same meeting, they said, we've also got this project with Big Narstie that we're working on, and we'd love you to be the co-host in that. So already I was like, what? Like, rah. Oh my gosh. Because the thing is, for me, it was a huge gamble to then leave retail to say, look, I'm going to do this full time. And like anyone, you have to take some of those gambles in life every now and then to be like, do you know what? I'm just going to put all my chips in and see if this works. And don't get me wrong, it's not to say I don't want to go back to it, but I'd set myself up to a place of like, touring is great, this stand-up stuff is great, but how can I reach a place that it can then start being consistent and really change my life and put me in a place where I'm like, wow, this is really happening and it's real. And that was it. That really felt like that in that meeting. And then, it was mad. I met Big Narstie like a week later. We was doing this thing for Call of Duty, like this campaign thing. And I remember he was sitting there and he's telling someone, like man's got a show coming up still. Obviously, get me like BBC and Channel 4 are fighting over, man. It's mad still. And I was like, it's not quite right. But he doesn't know that I'm doing this show with him, which is even mad. Because I was just like, hold on, but he doesn't know, like, you know, like if I knew you was doing my show, I'd be like, yo, what's going on, bro? I heard Channel 4 got involved in my thing. Or sick, man. So he didn't have any idea. He was just like, cool, man. Bless up. And I was like,
I'll see you next week.
This guy doesn't even know that we're doing a show together. Like, Then the following week we had a meeting, and it was so funny because we're sitting on this long table. I'm at one end, the exec Ben Wicks is at one other end, and Rianne, and then he's at the other side of this long table. He comes in, he walks in the production office, and so it's him, his manager, and that, and they've all come in. what's going on, guys? You right here? Yeah, nice to meet you, man. Smiling, nice to meet you, man. So they were talking about ideas, innit?
Yeah,
Because this was still pilot stage.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're talking about, we're going to do this, do that. I'm very open with ideas, innit?
Yeah,
what
yeah,
can work, what can't work, innit?
Yeah.
So it's like, we're going to do this, do that. I remember, I never forget, I was in this meeting and I was like, I think we should do this because that would work for that. And I don't think that would work because I never forget, Narstie's like manager was looking at me like, who is this guy, bruv?
Yeah.
To tell us our ideas are not good, bruv. So yeah, it was, and then we started recording, and I never forget like when we was doing that show, I was always like, I don't know what this show is gonna be like.
Yeah.
But and because it's my first taste of TV as well.
Yeah.
And you know, some of these names we're getting, especially on episode 1, and
Yeah.
you see the advert come out because we had Ed Sheeran for the first show.
Yeah.
So we had this big show. We're in these suits, and was like, it's gonna be a new Friday night show. And then the suits come off in our normal clothes. They like burst off.
Yeah.
And just like seeing myself on an advert on TV was like, this is mad.
I remember that.
Like, I'm fully on an advert for a TV show that people hadn't seen. And for me, it was just like, wow, this is my introduction to TV, and I can be myself.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't been fast tracked right to the top somewhere on a big show. I'm doing this show that I feel comfortable. I'm interviewing people I've kind of idolized in some senses as well, to be like, oh, right, I remember watching his first thing or seeing him in the film. And then working with Narstie is the funniest experience ever because he is so, I always say this, he's 100% himself.
Yeah.
And sometimes he comes up to me and tells me the funniest things ever.
Yeah.
And sometimes he will just drop mad knowledge and you're like, sorry, what?
Yeah.
What? Not to say that you wouldn't expect it, but sometimes he'd be like, like he'll come up to me and tell me something and I'm like, oh, right, okay, all right, cool. Yeah. But then at the same time, he comes up with some I never forget, right? So we had this one sketch, Pride and Prejudice, but we called it Grime and Prejudice,
Yeah.
Then I think the next week, like, we was like, cool, we're doing another sketch. We got some people in Love Island on, so we got to think of another name for a sketch. So obviously, Grime and Prejudice done so well, socials and people were sharing it. So everyone's trying to brainstorm names. What can we call this sketch?
Yeah.
And then Narstie was like, well, why don't we just call it Grime and Prejudice Island? And it's like, no, we can't call it that because the other one was a play on a word and this wouldn't make sense to the next one. But when I mean, working with him, real bellyache laughter. Sometimes we're just in meetings like, I'm going to go out and just have a smoke. And there's like a picture I put out recently where he's just outside the window and he's just like, when your friends encourage you to do bad stuff. But working with him is like, it's like when we work in social media, like that was when we was doing like them real like 6 episodes for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Real bellyache laughter, especially in rehearsals. You can't even take it serious. Because it's like, and sometimes you're like, all right, cool, come on, Nas, man, let's take it serious. Come on, like we got. It's people. It's people here, innit? Yeah. But now working with him is like so funny. We done series 3 the beginning of this year in January.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed we can get another series.
Hopefully,
as well.
man. Definitely, man.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that show, honestly. And you know what? I can't let you go as well without talking about the Bafta, man.
Oh, thank you, my guy.
It's mad, bro. Like, it's just, they say you're a Bafta winner now, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's mad,
It's
bro.
mad because I've read a couple of news articles and they're like, Bafta winning comedian. I'm like, oh, right, man, won that still.
Yeah.
No, I think for me, it's just like, it's, I'll be honest, I wrote my speech before I got nominated. I was just at home one day and I wrote a speech. I just wrote like, if I ever win a Bafta, this is what my speech is going to be.
Yeah.
And a couple of weeks later, I got nominated.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa. Because it's not to think you're not going to get nominated, but you have no idea. I didn't have no idea nominations were out. I didn't know what was going on with it.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, I just got nominated.
Yeah.
Mad, crazy. And as I said, any of these nominations, it's always a bonus. It's not you're given right that you must get a nomination. It's purely a bonus. So I was already like, wow, like just be nominated for this. And then, I remember when I won was mad because it was like, the cool thing was I was lucky enough. I was very lucky to go to it last year for the Big Narstie show. Got nominated. So I'd experienced it. I got the nice suit and
Yeah.
we went to the award show, me and my girlfriend, and we went there. But then it was like, it was better because when I had won it, I was around all my loved ones. I was around like my family, my girlfriend, my friends.
Yeah.
I had spent the week with all the people close to me. So I'd had the experience of going to the award show and doing the red carpet and stuff. And even when I did do the red carpet, I was like, right, like, I need to do some press for like the latest show. I never forget.
Yeah.
But no one wanted to talk to me really. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that's I said, you know, when your time comes, your time comes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So yeah, these ladies just wanted to talk to me. So I was like, oh, thank God someone wants to talk to me.
Yeah.
Because I remember just being on that red carpet, just like, I need to promo this.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
weirdly, a year later, I won a Bafta. And even that whole experience, I was like, I don't know, it's really weird because I keep telling people like, a part of me felt like I was gonna, no one prepares you when you're gonna win. But you have to set your mind up of like, I remember the night before, I was like, this time tomorrow night, I'm gonna win a Bafta. I said that out loud.
Yeah.
And I always say you have to set yourself up because you might not win it. Maybe I didn't win it the next night, but I would have won one somewhere. And I have to put it out there and believe that I can, you know, pick up these awards and these gongs and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. They're always a bonus.
Yeah.
But then, like, when you're nominated, you want to win.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Like, there's
Yeah,
no
yeah,
one, you know, there's, bronze is great. Like, and there's nothing to say. It's okay if you come third place, but you know what I mean? Like, and you get nominated, you're like, well, I would like to win at the same time.
100%, man.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and the place where I am in my career, it's like, that helps me get to the next stage of what I want to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It helps me sustain my career.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's huge though, man.
Oh, thank you, bro.
That is huge.
Thank you, my man.
Well deserved, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, you need to like step back for a minute and just realize,
I
won a Bafta, bruv. This is not like Norwich 2020 top like social media influencer. Do you know what I mean? This is a freaking Bafta, bro.
Yeah, for me, it hasn't sunk in, and I don't think it will for a while. Only because it's like, I don't know. I'm still like realizing what this actually means, the significance of it. Do you know what I mean? So for me at the moment, it's like, whoa. Like, even people keep saying, congratulations on the Bafta. And I'm like, oh, yeah, man, won that still. Oh, yeah, thank you. So, yeah. But at the same time, I think it's also just realizing it's like, I don't know, I'm not going to lie. Part of me is like, yeah, it's sick. I've won one. I want to win a couple more now, you know?
Yeah.
I like that feeling. Let me not lie.
I would love to win a Bafta, but
You will. You have to say it. I
my
will win a
manager's
Bafta.
shit. My manager's really shit. You know? He's left the room now, but he's shit. He didn't even look. He's not even seen one of my podcasts. You know, he hasn't even read my book. You know, my children's book. He literally read the back cover of my first one. I've got two. I've got another one on the way. Like, man, don't rate man, bro.
But he's helping you pay the bills, right?
Not really, man. This is a struggle. So I'm struggling right now. Trust me, bro. I wish I had a tree just to chill and just forget about life. Nah, big up Danny. He's all right. He's all right. But no, as I said, that's honestly sick, man.
Thank you, my man.
And also, like, I saw you obviously a few weeks ago doing the soccer aid.
Yes.
You lot won?
Yes, we won.
Who was playing again? Like, what were
Oh, so many pros. So on our team, we had like Michael Essien, Darren Fletcher, Claude Makalele, Mikel Silvestre, Robbie Keane as well. Who else? I hope I'm not forgetting. We had some female footballers. There's another Leanne
cool.
Sanderson as well.
Yeah.
She plays football in the States. We had a really good team. And then even in like some of our celebs, like Dave as well. Philly and Chunks were on the England team.
Yeah.
Wayne Rooney was one of the managers. Do you know what was mad? Like I was thinking about it literally on the way here. I was like, we were literally pros for like 4 days. Like you get treated like a pro. You do training, you have a bit of a lunch.
Was training a bit long?
Chill. No, training was fun. It was like the best part. I remember when,
wicked.
for me, training was like, I didn't want it to end. It's like, can we keep playing? Because it wouldn't be that intense.
Yeah.
And then you might get physio, for example, if your knees feeling a bit mad. And as an experience, I swear to you, it was like one of the best experiences I've had of just like, wow, like, and at the same time, it's like, the beautiful thing is that with football, is that it brings people together. But there's nothing better than if it can bring people together and raise a lot of money at the same time.
Yeah.
raised like 9.5 million. And that show's on for like 4 hours.
Yeah. Do
it's a lot of money.
Take like 80% of that? Or?
I know it's on ITV. It's on ITV.
Sorry, ITV.
Yeah.
You're big, man. You're doing
So
more than one channel, bro.
That was on. So that
you're just like that was ITV. That was ITV. I have a Netflix special as well. Oh, here's my Bafta. I've got it in my pocket, and I have a cappuccino machine in my office.
I got a coffee machine in the office still. You came and seen it.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, man, he's making money. Like, I need to change my manager, bruv. And then you were explaining, all right, basically, guys, if you want one, only if you want one, this is what we do. No one wanted one, but you just went through the process of how to make one.
Oh, that's so funny.
After that day, I saw the coffee machine. He was like, on me, like, we should do this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was like, raw, this podcast thing is kind of mad, man. Cappuccino machine.
Oh, that's so funny.
That's on level to.
I probably like showing off that coffee machine to people as well.
Yeah.
Do you want a coffee latte espresso?
Because I have just right here. I have a mechanism that actually can double the range. Really.
Oh man, that's very funny.
So what have you got next now? Like obviously, like the whole lockdown and 2020 has just been a bitch, really. But
yes,
obviously you've got a few things lined up, and hopefully things are going back to normal. So yeah, man.
I think it's in this industry we work in, it's just thankful to be able to do this and be what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
There's a time where we couldn't even do this and see your friends. So definitely thankful that things are kind of getting back to normal for some people in some industries. For some, it's still quite slow, but for myself, we're doing a doc at the moment about Black British comedy.
Amazing.
Which has been for me a passion project. I wanted to do this I had the idea maybe 2 years ago. I was like, I'd love to do a documentary about, because I've always said with Black British comedy, it's like there's, if you're a young person now and you're like, where did it start? You can definitely find entry points, but a way to showcase other comics that people haven't seen and their journey and explain it and stuff. Because if you think of, if you look at, programs like The Real McCoy, people was talking about it for years. Where are the tapes? When are we going to see it? Goodness gracious me. These are programs I grew up on. We don't, where's the tapes, man? I don't know, somewhere. And then it gets to a point where it's just like, wow, you have all these cool things coming out now, like Top Boy and Michaela Cole's drama, I May Destroy You, which are, people are showcasing what we can do, and we're starting to export them out to the world. The world is now a smaller place with social media where, people can subscribe to your channel from all around the world and you can give them your brand of comedy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think in the UK, if you think of maybe that last 30, 40 years, we've only really started to really have it. Not have it, but it's only been there for 30, 40 years. I can go to places anywhere in the world and they'll know who Eddie Murphy is. Big actor. I know Eddie Murphy. I've seen that film or this, that. Whereas in the UK, especially for Black and Asian and ethnic minority, we don't have that export. So it was really important for me to want to do this doc. And then it's for me it's a doc, but at the moment I'm trying to call it a film because how we're shooting it, lenses and stuff. Got to big up Vanessa as well. She's one of the directors on it.
Big up.
And for me, it's just I'm really excited that people get to see it. But my goal is long term that people can watch this in schools and universities. And it's an educational tool. That's purely what it is. Do you know what I mean? It's also to highlight and showcase some of these comics who. Because sometimes we have this mentality of we're looking for who's the new young, fresh person. I'm like, but what about some of these older guys? Who've been doing it for years before us, sometimes paved the way. What about them? Why do we always have to go for the new person? And when I say guys, women as well, kind of getting on the forefront of TV and being, getting shows as well, being able to host a latest show or something like that as well. So it's a massijust passion project, and now it's when
do you think it will be?
It comes out in October. So it comes out in October. And I'm just really excited that there's because as I said, there's some things that are really cool, but I really want you know, when you start creating things, and I guess you had this, I know this will last the test of time. This was something that we can show in 100%. Schools. There's another generation that will learn from this.
Yeah.
There is people from this industry that don't know about it as well, but also to shed light on something that people don't know about.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You know? So that's coming out. It's called Black, Funny and British.
Sick.
Yes.
So October, yeah.
Yes.
Because this might be aired in October, so it'll probably be
Yeah,
wicked.
Yeah. So I just really hope when it comes out, people can take it in, and it's just to celebrate as well.
Nah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think it's brilliant, man. I think it's as you said, it's needed as well.
Yeah.
You know, it is needed.
Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah. But and anything else apart from that?
I think that's it, really.
Yeah.
So far there isn't anything else. The cool thing is like October, like, I've got some time off a little bit.
Oh, sick.
Which is quite cool because now I can. My podcast is coming back as well.
Oh, wicked! Yeah.
We're kind of rebranding it because it's been so long. Like, it was March.
Yeah.
I think you kind of done my one March or February.
Yeah, I think it's February, March. Yeah.
So now I get to kind of rebrand it, do it all over again, which is really fun for me because it's like when you put yourself into these passion projects and you see how people like it, you're like, wow. Sick, man. I love the way people, people still message me about some of our other episodes that they've watched. I love this one. And people still listen to it now. And I'm like, haven't even put anything up. But now there's this demand for it. It's like, cool, man. We'll bring that back.
Yeah.
So that'll be coming back.
That'll be wicked. On your YouTube channel, right?
YouTube, it'll be on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple.
Wicked.
Apple, iTunes. Yeah.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah.
What Joe Biden said about Spotify.
What did Joe Biden say about Spotify?
Apparently he's cancelling them. You don't want to work with them. No.
He's cancelling them.
Oh yeah, he's not working with Spotify.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a whole nother subject, but
is it?
But
that's mad.
But
you lot always
don't affect my
me
money, bruv. Man's affecting my money right there, bruv.
We like Spotify. yeah. No. What's it called? Wicked. And before you go as well, so we do something a bit fun, yeah? So what we do, Krish, can you send me the one email that you're in charge of, yeah? Basically, I asked on my Instagram, I asked all my fans, I was like, listen, I can't tell you what it is, but Mo Gilligan, you can ask him anything.
Yes.
So I'll be honest with you, some of these questions will be dead because, some of my fans are like proper stupid, but I appreciate them commenting anyway. So what advice would you give to someone who wants to pursue comedy?
Comedy, you have to believe in you have to be true to yourself.
Yeah.
And when I say be true to yourself, write from your own experiences. No one is funny than your experiences.
Yeah, the truth.
Like, and I think that's the cool thing.
Yeah.
What I would say as well, try not to, definitely get influenced.
Yeah.
By, someone's always influenced by someone.
Yeah.
But try to stay away from trying to mirror that person, trying to act or talk like that person because people will see it in your comedy.
Yeah.
I remember when I started doing it, I was watching Def Jam and I was like, I got this joke. Sounds like Bernie Mac.
Yeah,
when I watch it back, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then lastly, just write as much as possible.
Yeah.
Writing is so good for your creativity. You might use it, you might not, but it's really important to write your ideas down on paper. Try and avoid using you can write it on notes and stuff, but write it out physically. You can see it, hear it back to yourself. Yeah. And that's a good thing of hearing jokes back. How do they sound? Because this is how your audience will sound.
100%, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes people write it out, then they go on stage and they get on the mic and they're like, oh, whoa, is that how I sound? I got a deep voice. Yeah. So they're the 3 tips I reckon I would give to someone starting out. Here's
one. What made you come up with the Jamaican nursery rhymes? Incy Wincy Blood Clot. I remember those.
So, my dad used to do it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then I remember making a video of it years ago on social media. And then I started just putting it into my comedy set. Yeah. And then that's just where it started. And then through there, I just started trying to do some video stuff. I recently done these Roadman Bedtime CBB stories.
Yeah, you know what? A lot of people were saying, do more of that.
Yes, we're going to do some more.
A lot of people were.
The thing is, they're just quite time consuming because I have to watch the story and then record it and memorize it. So there's loads of times I record, I'm like, what? No, that's the wrong story. Let me read the story. Oh, so the hungry caterpillar turns a butterfly. All right, cool. Yeah, so the hungry caterpillar is now a butterfly. So,
they're hilarious, man. Yeah. What's it called? Got a couple of more. Oh, what's your favorite curry?
Oh, my favorite curry. I love a lamb rogan Josh. Ooh, very nice. I like a prawn one though.
I like prawn.
Yeah,
I'm into
I like
prawn curry. That's my favorite. What about you, Krish?
Interesting. Chicken curry.
Chicken. That's just boring, bland.
Or-
yeah. Dylan, curry goat.
I thought we was going like in the South Asian vibe.
No, yeah.
You just went straight, big man curry goat. Where you laying, bruv? brother, why you acting like you don't eat curry goat, bruv?
And then what's it called? Hey, big man thing. Who's the funniest person you've come across?
Funniest person. Oh, I think just naturally random, not even trying to be funny. Most likely Big Narstie, man.
Yeah.
He just doesn't even try, but he's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
mad funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's got to be Big Narstie.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
good,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Well, yeah, they're the questions anyway. But Mo, hopefully before you have a few more specials, I'm gonna get you back on.
Yeah, definitely, man.
That would be
man.
great, man. And yeah, man, thank you for popping by, man. I know you've been busy, man. But this
as I
was
said,
sick.
you know what it is? It's one of those things where it's like I've known you for quite a long time, and
Yeah.
especially like when you're in this industry, it's like sometimes you just know how hard it is. If it's hard for me, I know it's hard for you at certain times. You know what I mean? So it's always good when you can have these moments of catch up, whether it's on a
100%.
podcast or you see someone at a show and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And I think especially with what you do as well, like you've paved the way for a lot of people as well. Do you know what I mean? When it comes to, you know, what you do on YouTube and how you've expanded that, but it's also consistency. People don't realize that look, man, you can get to the top, but it's hard staying there. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's one thing that you've done of like, you've got there, you stayed there, you're consistent, you still tour, you still go around the world, you still, you know what I mean? You still got a banging like YouTube channel and stuff. And that's not easy to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to
Appreciate
reinvent
that,
yourself
man.
and bring out, and plus, you know, going into other projects and stuff. I look around the room and you got your books and stuff and whatnot. It's not easy, but at the same time, it's like there's someone out there that's grown up with what you've done that's led them to what they do today. Do you know what I mean? Or being like, do you know what, he's done that. I'm gonna do that. And plus, you got to remember, like the background we come from. Like sometimes it's always easy to be like, okay, you need to be a doctor or something like this. And you've been someone who parents can watch and be like, do you know what? He's made a bit of change doing this. Do you know what I mean? Like, I see a car, bruv. Remember that car you had, that Merc? But it's one of those things. It's one of those things where it gives people the inspiration to say, oh, do you know what? Maybe I can try this path.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't work, I can at least try it. And parents and stuff like that can understand that this new generation can see and say, oh, do you know what? That's pretty good what this guy's doing. So yeah, big up to yourself.
I appreciate
bruv.
it, man. Yeah,
That's
hopefully,
alright,
as I
bruv.
said, man, we'll catch up soon, and hopefully we'll do when the time's right, we'll do
We'll
another
do a part
project,
two
man.
to this,
yeah,
bruv.
yeah,
Definitely,
100%, man.
100%,
All right,
bruv.
man. Bear love, man. Mo Gilligan, we out.